Hey guys, welcome back. So today I am filming a YouTube video with my hair down, which never really happens, I feel like, because my hair is always up, but we'll see how long this lasts. Anyway, this is a much asked for video. So I did one a few months back, and I've changed my editing process a little bit, so I figured I'd go back in, and today I'm going to talk about how I edit my Instagram pictures or photos. So, pretty much I'm just gonna put like my phone screen over here and I'm gonna show you guys what I do and the apps that I use and just kind of break it down for you, and hopefully it's helpful. So yeah, I will say the main apps that I use now are Lightroom, SNAPSEED, and VSCO from time to time, and that's pretty much it. Unless I want to take something out of a photo, I use an app called RETOUCH, which I will show you everything. So let's hope this all works. I'm going to take a screen recording. So I have 3 photos that I am going to show you guys today, and they are going to be these 3. So I picked this one because someone sent it to me and because there's a lot of colors in it, so I wanted to use this photo. This photo because I just really like the way that it ended up being edited, and it just really shows how Lightroom works super well. And somebody also sent me this one. And then this one I wanted to show because I didn't use Lightroom on this one, and I know that people don't always want to use like an app that you have to pay for. So this one is just edited on Snapseed and maybe VSCO. And I also wanted to pick this photo because I took something out of it, so I want to show you guys how I do that. So let's start with this photo in Mexico. So this is the original photo. And the first thing I'm going to do is, I know what I did with this photo because I actually just posted it. So I'm going to go into Lightroom right here. I have tons of photos in Lightroom. The before of this photo looked like this, and then after it looked like this, and that's the one that I ended up posting. So I'm going to show you what I did to do that. So I'm going to add this photo back into Lightroom, and because it's a screenshot, I'm just going to crop it. And just fun tip, Instagram photos can only be as big as 4x5. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to make that 4x5, and look, it's already like that because that's how I had it. So I'm just going to hit check, and then I add this to Lightroom. So once this is in Lightroom, I actually use presets now. So for the most part, it just depends, but I'm thinking about creating my own, but it would take me a lot of time. So I'm going to use her tag here because I'm like, full disclaimer, like I use someone else's presets, and I don't think you should like ever be ashamed of that. Her presets are awesome and I really like them. So her name's Aggie and she's Travel in Her Shoes. Oh gosh, I was like, what's her handle? So Travel in Her Shoes. So I got her presets, I bought her presets maybe back in like February. I don't always use them. A lot of them actually don't work for my photos, which is unfortunate, but she did come out with a new pack that I think I might buy. We'll see. So this is how the photo started, but because I know like she travels a lot, I knew she'd have a preset that I would like. So the tough thing about her presets were, this was before a lot of people were coming out with mobile presets. So her presets were actually more for like your computer and not for iPhone pictures. Almost all my photos these days are from my iPhone, and I think they still edit fine with her stuff. So once I had that loaded, I'm going to go back, and what I had to do was, this is like my home screen in Lightroom, is I had to, on my computer, upload the same photo, and then I just copied and pasted all of her presets. I actually messed it up, so I'm missing like 2 of her presets on here because some of them, like this one is repeated. I know, like look how scary this photo looks, but in reality, like I use this one a lot. I just don't remember what they're called, honestly. I'd have to look up what her pack was that I bought, but pretty much it's the one that's not for the phone, and it comes with like 4 different things to be determined. I'll look that up and I'll type it up here. So there's that. And then I actually have this girl, her name's Aspen. My friend Mackenzie uses her presets, and I was like, oh, they're so cute. And then I bought them and downloaded them, and no offense to this girl, because like look how cute her photos are. No offense to her though, but like I can't use these on any of my photos. And when I saw them, I was like, oh, they're so pretty, like yes, and I bought them and I haven't used them since. So I kind of regret doing that just because like they just don't work for my feed or my photos. I just like how like much crisper like Aggie's are. So pretty much Aspen's presets I never even touch. But I'm going to go into Aggie's presets, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to copy and paste the settings of whichever photo I want. So I'm going to copy and paste this one because this is usually the one that I do. I just know it's the 4th one in, so let me do that a little slower. So I'll just hit those 3 dots. I'll hit copy settings, and then I'll hit OK. And then I go back to my photo, hit the 3 dots, and I hit paste. And then look at what it automatically did. So this is before and this is after. Honestly, I'm not sure if this is the preset I use, so I'm going to double check. So you have to undo it. And this is literally my process. Like, I go through and I'm like, okay, what do all of these look like? Copy, okay. It is not a quick process by any means for me. No, it wasn't that one. The thing is, with her presets, it's not just one and done. Once I actually paste her preset, I have to like edit the shit out of it from there. So, just to make it the way I want. So paste, definitely not that one. It could be this one. I have a feeling it actually was the first one, and I just edited that word, it down, edited. Yeah, it wasn't this. So let's go back to the first one. I'm going to try to get it as close as I can to the way I had it. Yeah, I guess it had to be this one, because this picture's the same because I pasted those wrong. And that, I don't know, I think it's this one. So let's copy settings. I'm going to go in and we're going to paste the settings. Okay, so this right now is like super bright, and I'm orange as hell. So the first thing I do is I go into the light category, and I just kind of honestly play with it. And I usually hit undo a lot to see where it was. Like, I might turn up the contrast some, the highlights. I keep those pretty low when I use this preset just because that's how she has it edited. I'm going to add a few more shadows. My whites, I usually like the whites to stick out just to make my photo a little bit brighter. And my blacks I actually turn down, especially like for my hair and stuff. So if you look at this photo, like, it's definitely super pretty, but like I'm just so orange. So this is my favorite part of Lightroom, and it like saves my life. So the effects, like, I'm going to turn down her clarity. Oh, I just hit the wrong button. I'm going to turn down her clarity a little bit just because I don't want it to be as sharp as she has it. Honestly, I'm not sure what all of these things mean. I looked it up one time, but sometimes I just like play with them and I turn them down some. I do like my photos to be sharp, but not like so sharp it's bad. I don't like any grain, so her photo, yeah, so this is the preset I use a lot. The grain is usually 9, and then one of them I use a lot also has 20, but I like 0 grain. So the best thing about Lightroom is this right here, is the color. So I'll like play with the temperature a little bit. Like, and I definitely want this a little bit brighter, so I'll keep that there. The tints, I like this, makes it a little bit more green. This makes it more pink. Let's see, where was that? It was pretty good at 22. The vibrance just is just how bright you want the colors. And then obviously saturation, we all know what that means. I'm going to turn the saturation down to like 5. But this is what saves my life. This little button right here that says mix. I'm going to hit mix. And then I go to orange first, just because that's my skin and that's like what I want to fix first. So the first thing I do is I turn down the saturation, which, like, if I go all the way down, like, it's going to look scary, but I just turn it down enough. So like there's like 16. And then sometimes I make my hue a little bit, because my hue was at, what, 7? I take it down a little bit to make it more almost red, to make it look more like skin, I guess. And then the luminance is actually really cool, so I can make myself look that or that. That's really scary. So usually I just play with that one. So that was at negative 56. So honestly, the 56 wasn't too bad. And then from there, once I kind of like my skin, the skin's always the hardest part for me, then I'll go into the rest. So the red, so you can see like on my bathing suit, it's changing it up a little, and that just depends on like what I want. Like, do I want it super bright? And see how the red also affects my skin some? So yellow, I'll just go in with that. And I just play with it. So yellow, keep the yellow pretty bright. The green will definitely affect the water in the background, so I'll make the background a little bit more green. Saturate that. Do you see the trees in the back? And then I like to keep the luminance pretty high on those type of colors. So this is like a aqua that really controlled the water, but I kind of like the way the water was. I'm going to turn the saturation up some and just brighten it a little. Same blue. So look at the sky. Like, I can make it like that. Some people like really edit their photos that way and they look super like cool, but like I just feel like I'm not, I don't know, it's just not my personal taste. So I keep it like that, luminance, Keep it bright, still looking like the sky. And then I don't really see many purples or pinks in my photo, so I'm not really gonna touch that. So that is pretty much what I think my photo ended up looking like. So here's the before, and here's the after. And it just drastically changes the photo. So I'm gonna hit done. And then up here in the corner, I just hit save to camera roll. And just because it's for Instagram, I usually hit small. And that's one photo done. Perfect. So moving on, let's do the one where I don't use Lightroom. So I know that I want to take something out of this photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this app called Retouch, and I'm going to go into albums. So I made a little editing thing. So I'm going to click on this photo, and if you can see this lovely thermostat in the photo that I really don't want there. This was taken after my community ride. I was like so high on life. I was so excited, high on sweat. And I'm sorry I haven't really been looking at you guys that much. I've been just like focusing on the photo. But I did not want this in my picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Object Removal, and I'm going to zoom in, and I'm literally going to draw a little box around the thing that I want to move. And I just hit go. And it just takes it away. It's amazing. I mean, I know that my shadow's still there, but that'll probably be gone once I finish editing. But it's just literally that easy. So if you ever want to pick, like, something is in your photo and you don't like it there, like, sometimes I have to work a lot harder than that, but that was just super easy. So I'm going to save that, save as a copy, and then I'm going to take that into Snapseed. Oh, look, my photo was already there. So I'm going to open from device. Here we go. And there, so there it is gone. So Snapseed is what I use a lot when I want to brighten up my photos, in the sense that like this white wall is dingy as hell and I want to fix it. So everyone always asks me, how do you get your walls so white? I know a lot of people use like the whiten tool on Facebook, on Facetune. I don't even own Facetune. I don't know how to work it, so I use Snapseed. So you're going to hit tools. The first thing I do is I actually edit the photo a little, so tune image, and then I just play with it. Like I turn the brightness way up, contrast, a little bit of saturation. I'll turn that down. I kind of like that. Highlights. I remember I turned the highlights way up in this photo because I'm going to edit my body a little later. Not my body, but like my skin. And then I try to turn the warmth down a little when it's just looking super yellow. So actually I'm going to turn the brightness up. And you just do that by you tap and you like hold and you can move. Okay, that brightness is fine. So then I'll just hit the check. So already like it's improved the photo. So now my favorite tool, and this is like the secret tool of Snapseed, you hit tools and then right here it says selective and you tap on that. So all I'm going to do is tap the different areas that I want to edit. There's brightness, contrast, saturation, and structure. I typically stick with the brightness and the saturation. So I'm going to make that way brighter right there. And then if you pinch your fingers together, like so, you can control that area. So once I have it as bright as I kind of want it, I'll go down to saturation and I'll turn it way down and control it. So then it's just in that one area. I mean, and this takes a lot of work. Like it's just tedious and annoying, but I don't want yellow walls. So then I'll just turn it way down and that fixed that. And then and then you just keep going. And then what's really cool is I can actually do it on myself too, because look how like desaturated I look. Like if I want to brighten up myself, and then I'll usually add a little contrast and maybe even a little saturation to like not wash myself out so badly. Just kind of play with it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's all you're allowed because look, I can't hit the plus anymore. So then you just hit check, and then sometimes I honestly have to go back in and do it again. Like I feel like right here looks a little bit too yellow, not yellow, but... And then usually a picture like this, just because the only thing with color in it is me, I'll put it in VSCO. So that's the original, and that's what it looks like now. Like it's literally so different. So I'll export that, save it as a copy. I'm going to throw this into VSCO. And then once that's there, I just kind of go in and I pick which filter I want. I usually favor the A category. So, and I just kind of click through. Honestly, I don't know what I did with this photo because I barely edited it. Honestly, like, let's just put this into Lightroom and I'll just change my skin tone and that's that photo. So once this is in here, like, I'm just gonna go to the color. Ooh. Whoa. And I'm just gonna up my saturation, like maybe turn this down a little bit. And then I'll play with the light just a tad. Look at that, 0.04. I don't need any more highlights. And that's pretty much it. So see, like before I was still a little pale looking. So that just gave me just a tad bit of color. And that's that. So there's that one. And then lastly, let's go. So back to our edits. Oops. So we have into this. Very, very different. And lastly, I'm going to do this photo from Miami into that, which is just amazing. So, sorry I haven't been looking at you guys. I'm just very focused. This is what it does. This is how I am when I edit. So, I know what I did is I immediately just threw this into Lightroom. And I know that I use Aggie's presets once again because they're beautiful. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I know that this is going to give me like a really good edit. So, let's see what we did. Once again, here's the one that I typically use. I'll have to look up what it's called, as I said. And let's go in and let's paste the settings. Oh yeah, this is definitely the filter I used. So, or preset I used. So here's the before, and here's the, I mean, it already tremendously changed the photo, and that's what I love is that I didn't have to edit the crap out of this down from her preset. As I said, I usually go into the light first. Honestly, I remember really liking this. And I had to edit this photo under a towel at the beach, which if anybody's ever edited a photo at the beach in the sun, like you know that it is like one of the hardest things. So, it took me a while, so let me add the contrast. I like it with a little more contrast. Highlights. I definitely wanted this photo to be really bright, but it already like looks, maybe I'll make it like, see I even changed it just like the slightest bit. So shadows, I like that. Blacks, turn that down just a little. Okay, so, and then I just like to see like how far I've came already. It's like, wow, okay. And I haven't done much work because the preset really did a lot for me here. So effects, once again, turn down the grain, turn back the clarity a little bit, sharpen. I think I left this photo pretty sharp. Okay, so let's go into color. So I wanted this photo to be super bright, very Miami-esque. So I think I maybe left it around there. And the tint, like I remember playing with the tint because my eyes were so messed up under my towel. But I kind of like it there. Vibrance, turn that down a little. And the saturation, I think I turned down some because my back looks very like orangish. Okay, so let's go to the color. I know I just played with this a little bit. I wanted to make myself not so orange, obviously. That's just how presets work, is like that's the #1 thing is you have to change is your skin tone because obviously everyone's is different. So I turned that saturation down just a tad. And then sometimes the luminance can actually really fix it too, which I like. So my luminance started at 56. Even something as small as like 51 makes a difference. Okay, so let's go to red. So the red was like, there's like stripes in my shirt, so I think I wanted to make those like a deeper red. And and then I made them way brighter. And just like super cute and fun. And then yellow. Sometimes your skin gets like yellow. Look at my, sometimes my skin gets yellow actually. So look at my hat. It's like kind of what that was changing. So I didn't really want to mess with that too much. And then that changed the leaves drastically. So I'm just going to kind of leave that. And then the green, just chilling there. Made them super bright. And then I don't even know if there were any blues. This wall actually was like a super cute mint color, and it like did not show up at all in the photo, so I was kind of bummed about that. But oh well, because I was like trying to get all the Miami vibes with like freaking pastels down there, but did not work out well. And yeah, I mean the rest, like the color, so here's the before and here's the after, and the preset did so much work for me on this one. So saving, and that's pretty much it. Whew. We had this photo at the beach go to this photo. We had this photo at SoulCycle go to this photo. And then we had this photo in Miami turn into this photo. And that's pretty much all I got. So I used the apps SNAPSEED, Lightroom, VSCO, and RETOUCH for the most part. So I know that I wasn't looking at you guys a lot while doing that, but I did want to do like the split screen just so it was easier for me to like talk through it and so you guys could see it and see me like fiddling with it, I guess. But that's pretty much it. And yes, it just took me about 20 minutes, 25 I think, to film that. So it took me 25 minutes to edit 3 photos. And obviously usually I'm not talking through it, but sometimes it can take me upwards of like, sometimes it can take me upwards of 20 minutes to edit one photo. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's just the way that it is. And I don't know, I just like to get them the way that I like them, the way that I want them. And I really just want my feed to be cohesive, but I don't have a specific theme by any means. I do think my photos are bright, but when it comes to my feed, I don't know. I just definitely, I like to have pops of color, but I also like neutrals. I don't like when my feed's too busy, but for a while it was, and I didn't hate it. Like around this area, I felt like it was kind of busy, but I liked it for some reason. Now more so, like I focus more on the photo than I do on my feed per se, because I know that the way I edit, since it's very similar, like they're all gonna mesh together. Like now, I'm not somebody who I use the same filter for every photo. Like it just doesn't personally work for me, that I wish that it did, but it doesn't. And I know that some people do that, and I just want to like address the whole preset thing. So yes, I paid for the presets, Aggie's presets, and no, I don't care. If somebody else is going to help you up your game, like why not take advantage of that? I didn't have the time at the time to like fully sit down and figure out Lightroom, so like her presets really, really helped me. And even if like I have to edit them after, because some of them I really, really have to edit them, but I didn't want to pick those today because I just feel like that would have been pointless to kind of, I don't know, it just would have taken me forever, honestly, like to edit a photo down from where it was. But you guys kind of saw that process in the first photo a little bit. But there are some where I like am in Lightroom for a much longer time editing the photo down, and that's just, you know, the way it goes. Moving to Cozy Warm, which sounds familiar to me. Yes, this is the one that I got, Cozy Warm, because it said, like, she described what it's good for. And it was like, it's perfect for cities and skin tones. Skitties. And I was like, oh, I'm going to New York. Like, this is the best one to buy. And it came with literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different presets, but each of them had like a positive and a negative. I don't know what that means. But so I got 14 different presets from her for $60, which I think is a really good deal because I paid $50 for the 5. My camera literally just shut off. Oh God, I cannot wait to get a new one, which I'm about to. But yeah, so anyways, I got 14 presets from Aggie for $60, which I think is a really good deal because I just paid $50. I'm like being fully transparent. I know I'm fucking crazy. For Aspens, which like love you girl, but like I can't even use them. And that's on me. Like, you know what I mean? So she, $60 for 7, like, okay. So I was like, oh, this is totally worth it just to try. But I will say, like with presets, like it does take extra editing from there, but it also does a lot of work for you. So you don't have to know everything about Lightroom, but I do know that like I spent some time really getting to know Lightroom before I even bought presets. So yeah, I don't think that presets are something you should be ashamed of. I do want to say that I think you can tell when people use presets. Like I can definitely look at someone's photo and be like, oh yeah, like they're using Lightroom, or oh yeah, like that's someone's preset. But I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. I wish I could commit to one preset and always use it so my feed would look super consistent. like that. But I'm kind of like in this like transition phase with my Instagram anyway. Like, I think editing and the process is so fun. I do think like I am going to start spending a little bit more time on YouTube, because I've just gotten frustrated with Instagram lately, and I don't think it's like worth my time, not worth my time and energy. Like, Instagram is like what has helped me grow my brand so much, but I will say, like, it's really frustrating when I take time to get content, I take time to edit my content, and then it's just like a flop. So I think I'm going to stop like stressing so much about it, or that's my goal, is to stop stressing so much and really like focus on YouTube, because I like making videos does make me happy, and editing them, like, even though it's like a long process, like it really does make me happy. So I'm really going to like start to work on like the YouTube grind. So with that being said, like, make sure if you haven't subscribed yet that you hit that subscribe button below. Make sure that you like leave me a comment, like this video, whatever. I hope this was helpful for you guys. The Snapseed selective tool is like the greatest thing. Like, Snapseed in general, if you just want something super basic, I think is the app that you need to use. If you just want something for filters, VSCO is the way to go. But if you want to get a little bit more in depth with your editing now, I'd say Lightroom is definitely the way to go. It does cost money. I just think it's so cool to see what a picture can be and then what it's edited to. And I love looking at before and after photos. Like, I think that's so fun and so cool, where some people are like, oh my god, like the original was so much better, or oh my god, like, I mean, I don't get like too much hate or whatever, but like I do know that people are like, oh, that photo is so heavily filtered. Well, like, that's the way I choose to edit my photos, and I like to think of it in a way that it just enhances the photo. It doesn't change what's happening or change, it just makes everything a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to the eye, because I'm sorry, I don't want to look at your photo that looks like you took it at 8:00 p.m. with a fluorescent light hanging above you. I don't know, just saying. That's me. So yeah, so make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, comment, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys for the next video, alright?